Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. I hope it finds you well this morning. If you could do us a favour this morning, if you can try and give this video a thumbs up, it's the least you can do, please, because we want to try and get around about 750 thumbs up. We tend to do pretty well when we do that. And share the video with your friends. Just share it with Celtic pals. Just for the sake of it. Anyway, we are sitting on a fantastic amount of subscribers. We're currently sitting on 19,040 subscribers. It does go up a little bit every day. And I thank you for everyone that has subscribed and to all the new subscribers, because there was even someone subscribed from Sweden last night. We do have Celtic fans all around the world. Yes, a term that I did pen for this channel a long time ago now. And it seems that it's been used by other teams also. Copycats. Anyway, Celtic do go into the weekend playing St Johnstone, although Callum McGregor wasn't asked too much about the game this weekend. We're now over the fact that this Scott Brown will not be the St Johnstone manager. You have to feel for St Johnstone. They do find themselves down at the bottom of the table. And the funny thing is about St Johnstone, right? They're sitting on a goal difference of -3. Only -3. When you look at teams... Ross County is sitting on -5 and they're 2 points above them. They have conceded 11 goals this season, but they've also scored 8 goals, which I think is strange. And you've got to feel for them. And things need to change in Scottish football. I have said this before. They've played each other 4 times and maybe even 6 times in derbies throughout the season. It's all good for television, and there's nothing better than beating them. But when you look at the fact that St Johnstone started their league season in Scotland, not European qualifiers or anything like that, they started their season in Scotland on the 13th of July. 13th of July. What happened to the good old days? I know the modern football's changed and everyone's talking about it. The fact that football players are almost playing 12 months of the year now. They're not getting any time off at all. And people say, well, that's a job, but it's a lot more physical than what it used to be back in the day when they did get a full 2 months off, near enough, during the summer. The fact that they played the first game the 13th of July, they beat Brecon 2-1 in the Scottish League Cup. They went on to play then Greenock Morton. They won 2-0 with that. They went on to play Alloa Athletic. They won that. Alloa actually won that 3-2 on the 23rd of July. They were put out of the League Cup. And that was a group stage, sorry. That's what I mean. The League Cup goes weird. It goes into a group stage and then goes into the later. It's just nuts. And if you're going to go into a group stage, why not do it at the beginning of the season? But I don't know what they're thinking in Scottish football sometimes. They then went on to beat East Fife 5-1. And the opening day of the season, they got beat by Aberdeen 2-1, who Rangers think that they can catch, even though they're neck and neck with Celtic. And I want Aberdeen to try and stay top for the rest of the season. And hopefully that mob that's called Sevco can go further down the league. Anyway, St Johnstone then went to Dundee United and lost 2-0. And they got beat by Motherwell 2-1. And there seems to be something that was going on at St John's, because they've had quite a few red cards this season. 3 red cards in 3 consecutive games, which they've got beat by Hibs, and then they drew with Ross County 3-3 in their last game. But that was after they sacked their manager, and you always get a little bit of a bump after you sack your manager and when a new manager comes in. But hopefully they won't get a bump this weekend. Celtic go into the game knowing that Sevco managed to beat them at home 2-0, and Celtic will be going out to continue their fine form of play. And talking about the fine form of play, Callum McGregor has been talking about it.
Yeah, really strong squad.
And he's been talking about the fact that we do have a strong squad. And let's listen to Callum now.
Really strong squad. I think the profile of the team is pretty much where we want it to be. You get a good balance of speed and power and physicality and the right tactical stuff that you need as well. So it is a really balanced group. A lot of young players, good enough experience as well. So yeah, we've managed to build ourselves a strong squad, and I guess the sort of time will tell just how well we go on and do. But it certainly has all the good hallmarks of a good team, and it's now just about the players delivering that on the pitch.
I think it's fair to say the fans are raving about Arne Engels and his impact so far. For you, are you surprised by how well he started, and just how good of a player do you think he is, and how good of a player can he be?
Yeah, surprised and not surprised, because I seen him on the first day and I thought, right, he's a player, he can play. But also surprising, and you have to still go and deliver when
Yes.
when the game kicks off. And young player, um, experience for his age, but to come into a club this size and take 2 penalties in the first 2 games, he's looked a real powerhouse. He's looked good on the ball, so not surprised in that aspect. But yeah, for him to come in and hit the ground running the way he has done, has been excellent, and obviously a real plus for the team as well.
It is a real plus for the team. And we're going to this weekend. You're expecting Celtic to win. Have we got a bit? Are we getting too used to Celtic winning? We've had a fantastic start to the season. We've won our first opening game of the Champions League. We're winning in the Cup. We're through to Hampden this early in the season. It's all looking good. We're unbeaten in the league with Aberdeen hot on our tails. But the fact that Celtic do have a goal difference of 14 and no goals against as it stands in the league. No one has scored against us in the league, which is absolutely fantastic. 14 goals for is not to be sniffed at this early in the season. Usually when it comes to the season, you're thinking, right, if we can get ahead in goal difference just to make sure. But the fact that we are 5 points ahead of Rangers, I'm sure that the team and the players and the manager will want to go on and push on this weekend to increase that goal difference, because let's face it, Aberdeen are hot on our heels with 15 points. Also, Rangers do well. Chris Boyd's had a little bit of a say in thinking that Rangers can maybe catch Aberdeen. Well, they're going to have to go a long way to catch them, because they're currently sitting 5 points in front, and I can't see Aberdeen slipping up any time soon. With the Celtic women team also in action this evening, it'll be a fantastic game. I'm sure that game is on TV Alba, and that'll be a fantastic game to watch, and we'll all be tuning in to that game this evening and no other game to make sure that they can get through. So what has the Celtic women's coach been saying about her
Have that
chances with the
achievement
team this
will be
evening?
not only, great thing for me as a coach, as a person, but for me the most excitement is to make my players live their dream of getting into the group stage. Will mean top 16 teams, play against the best players out in Europe, and also like challenge and see like how far or like what we've been achieving is something that's I don't want to think about, but obviously it's in the back of the head. But first thing is we have a training today, we have a game tomorrow, and then let's see what happens after that.
You go into that game with a 1-0 lead
Yes,
against
that's it.
Vorskla. Is that a fair reflection of the first leg? And does it maybe mean that there's no complacency creeping in for the second leg?
I would say the fair result will be 5-1 to us. We created enough chances to score like goals on, especially those chances were very good chances. They also created some chances, so they should have scored as well. But that's another game. I'd need to focus on what's ahead tomorrow. Maybe they change some things. Maybe we change some things. And we just need to treat it as a new game. It's 0-0 when the game goes. And then we just need to manage it throughout the game. So I'm not thinking too much about what happened. I need to focus on what's now, what we think is going to happen.
Exactly. You need to just think it out. It's fantastic that she thinks that Celtic, the women's team, should run 5-1. There's something about a ring about the 5-1 scoreline. If you remember last season, there wasn't many high scoring games. But this season, we seems to have got off to a cracking, absolutely fantastic start in the men's football, certainly, and scoring 4 or 5 on a regular basis. And long may that continue, because it does show that the team is going in the right direction. When it comes to the women team, let's hope that they do it, because they are getting that new training establishment built down at Lennoxtown, just down the road from Celtic Park, in front of the Celtic Supporters Association Club, which is a fantastic place to go for a beer before the game if you want to go for a beer. But I just think that the women's team, if they were to do it, everything seems to be going right for Celtic just now. And when it is, You've got the money in the bank. Get the hotel started, Celtic. Get that hotel. You've got the planning permission. The planning permission was done back in 2018, 2019. Get the hotel done. And that would just be the ultimate, the absolute ultimate. In the next year or so, if Celtic were to start, once they get Lennoxtown up and running, if they were to then turn around and saying, right, we're going to get this new ticket office done. We're going to get the new hotel done. And it'll be a complete slap in the face to that mob across the road who used to put out, oh, we're building a 750 million stadium complex with casino and hotel and everything. And then 20 years later, Celtic actually do go and build the hotel. It's fantastic. It's what a brilliant time to be a Celtic fan. Do not underestimate how important and how good things are just now for us at Celtic. And may long it continue. That's what I say. The fact that we're going out and buying £11 million players in the likes of Arne Engels, and we know, let's have a reality check. We know that we won't keep Arne Engels for any more than 2 seasons. Celtic are not spending that kind of money to try and for the knowledge that they will sell him on for vast amount of money. I mean, bucket loads, more than what we got for the one and only Matt O'Reilly, who went for a total package of 30 million. They obviously expect Arne Engels to go for a fee way more than that because they've got a big, massive 20% sell on clause. Anyway, one ex-Celtic player has been talking. Should we talk about Haksabanovic? He's been talking about some missed chances in a game that he played. Nah, I don't even want to talk about him because he mouthed. He was another player that mouthed off in the media, and it's good. What has been good this week, and hats off to Brendan Rodgers and the boys and everything, is that everyone's been radio silent. Everyone's been radio silent on, and you can imagine what happened when the boys went into the training room. Cal Mackwood just went and said, "Look, mate, I know that you're trying to improve yourself to Lewis Palmer, but don't do it on social media. Don't do it on social media. We know that you feel that you had a bad game and you're not getting up to the levels that you expect of yourself. But going on to social media and saying, look, resilience and it's going to make me better and I'm going to improve. We understand that that's the culture that you come from. But here in Scotland, it's seen as being a fucking fanny. Let's face it. Because we don't like people trying to big up themselves and trying to put it out there. Good thoughts and trying to make themselves better. It's just not a Scottish thing, is it? And people in Scotland generally don't like people thinking ahead of themselves and thinking that they're bigger than what they are. Even though that Lewis Palmer probably didn't mean it like that. It was probably just, I mean, when I read it, I was like, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with his comment? He knows that he isn't playing that well, and he knows that he will come good. He knows that. He has that confidence in himself. And as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing wrong with that, because Brendan Rodgers, after the game last weekend, he stood up as well. I would rather that the players were honest with us. If Lewis Palmer had come on to it and said, I am a fantastic player, I played brilliant at the weekend, I don't know what you're talking about. The league's pish. The cup's pish. I think he would all be more than willing if we can tell Palmer exactly what he thought of him then. But the fact that he put a thing saying that he wants to improve and he feels that he can improve and he will improve, I just don't see it. I would rather we had players that were honest in the situation that they find themselves. Brendan Rodgers was honest after the game last weekend, saying it was his fault with the performance in the first half. And I'm sure he'll rectify that this week. Tell me your scoreline predictions in the comments section, as always. And then we'll do the live tonight, where we do the full team preview, when we preview the team, and we get our score predictions in the chat. And I wonder if we'll do a poll tonight, because we've never done one last night. I had a night off of doing polls. But make sure to join us for the live at 8 p.m. Celtic part-time tonight. We'll get as many on as possible, where we can talk about the predictions for the weekend. And it'll be just about finishing time at a game. And I wonder if there'll be a little bit of a meltdown and a bit of hilarity on that one. So we'll just wait and see. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day to all you Celtic fans. Yes, you right there, because I know that you have stuck around to the end. And I love that. Have a fantastic day wherever you are, Celtic fans all around the world. Roll up to the